and Jillian, cousins from White Bison Ranch, and Jay and I have been sitting here thinking about our big lifestyle change 2 years ago, and all of the things we've learned along the way from the time we got here until today. And Jay, do you want to talk about kind of how you found this place?
Yeah, I mean, so look at me, company was moving from Colorado to Texas. Didn't want to live in the big city. Had already had animals, horses, and turkeys and chickens, and that I don't think they really do well in the city. Neighbors complain with chickens going off at 2:00 in the morning, and so yeah, just kept on looking and found this place. This place was a special place when we first came out here, and that's what everybody says when they come out here to visit as well too. And just been learning a lot more along the way. And I mean, went from a somewhat 50 acres to 200 acres, and then now we're looking for an even bigger place that we need more land for more animals and stuff as well. And then the challenges of learning about regenerative ranching, and it's interesting and cool, and it's a lot of fun to learn about. And Jill's definitely been learning a lot, and she definitely has a passion for that, and you go on with that.
Yeah, I think we'll get into that a little bit later. Just there's a lot more time out here. It's more laid back than in the city. So we're going to take you on a little tour around the ranch today and just talk about some highlights and things we've learned, and there's still a lot we don't know, but we're having fun.
Learn along the way.
Welcome to our greenhouse. We are working right now on restoring this 1970s greenhouse to make it usable for fruits and vegetables of our own. Jay and I have really been focused on what's in what we're eating, and I think that the ability to produce fruits and vegetables without pesticides and chemicals is really important to us. You know, right now I go to the grocery store and I look for fruits and vegetables. There's not many organic ones to pick from, and they're all coated with wax, or they're coated with kind of a greasy, oily substance, and I just don't like that in my produce. So our goal is to have a wide array of fruits and vegetables to enjoy. There's a lot of information being put out there right now on kind of big food. So we've got big pharma that we're all familiar with, but now big food. And if you look at the food industry, it really is killing us. So do your research, but there's, insecticides and pesticides and herbicides and just, fake stuff that's in our food. They're making food in labs. So this is our attempt to combat some of the kind of crazy food practices going on.
All right, well, we're out here in one of our cow pastures right now, where we have a bunch of heifers out here, and these ones are all first-time moms. A couple of them aren't, but majority of them are all first-time moms. Pitfalls of learning on cows and stuff. Yesterday we worked all of our cows in LaRue, and we had to make some hard decisions yesterday on whether to keep some of these babies that we had or not. So we have 32 babies we're about to bring to the sale barn Friday or Saturday, and they're just getting back to ground health. The ground health wasn't the greatest for the moms, so the moms weren't producing as much milk as they should be. But they're not going to be to the quality we want to put out to the people we're selling it to. So your brand and your quality is everything. So unfortunately we're going to take a loss, and it's one of those other things is learning the hard way on making sure that you have plenty of grazing for your animals, and especially when they're nursing, because otherwise they won't get big, and they won't get what you want out of them. So and then we're going to be adding some dairy cows as well here soon. Not doing any dairy on a bigger level or not, but just having non-pasteurized milk that is amazing. You can make butter and cream and drink with your coffee in the morning.
Yeah, we enjoy doing that right now, getting from a neighboring ranch their milk. And so we think we're going to do it on a small scale too, to have just that healthy dairy that we know where it came from. When I first met Jay, he was living in the country and I was in a high rise in Denver. And I knew that if I was going to pursue him, that I probably wasn't going to get him back into the city, and I probably needed to get comfortable with the country life. So in the city, I really enjoyed restaurants and happy hours and going to coffee and seeing people, shopping, and just having access to wonderful food and a nice selection. And it was really during the pandemic in 2020 when I spent more time out in the country at where Jay was living at the time, and just really started to familiarize myself with the quiet and with the change. And I think for the first time in my life, I saw myself being able to live outside of the suburbs or a major city. So some of the cons to country life have been just noticing the disparity of the access to healthcare and to food in general, food choices out here. That's one thing that I've really, I guess, had a hard time getting my head around. I've heard about lack of healthcare and I've heard about lack of nutrition, but we are in a community right now that is roughly 70% Medicaid and a significant number of food stamp users. And I think just seeing that firsthand when I walk into the grocery store is a really discouraging thing for me. So I think we have decided that we want to be part of the solution, and that's why this regenerative organic ranching is becoming very important to us. And we're doing a lot of research now to prepare ourselves for how we can be better to the community and, you know, have access to the fruits and vegetables and meats ourselves.
Right. Just make it, when you know where it comes from, that's pretty much the basis, of everything.
That's right.
Where it comes from, who grew it, what they did in growing it. I mean, basically it starts all with the soil. And if you don't have good soil and good soil health, it's not going to be good food. I mean, that comes from the animals eating the soil to the trees growing in the soil to, what you spray on your food, and it's everything. It's a lot, and we're still learning, and we learn something all the time, and a lot of times, unfortunately, we learn by a lot of the mistakes we do. Even with these guys, which they all went to the other field right now, but just animal health and stuff, and what it takes to keep them healthy, and getting your vet out there and doing fecal samples. When we first moved out here, we had the goats and sheep that we went through a lot of goats and sheep, but worms and that kills them, and then you give them too many minerals, and then that you end up losing some animals, and that hurts. And then your friends all call you Death Ranch, or I forgot Animal Killer was my, people call me that. But
I think there's two schools of thoughts on that. You can learn as you go, which is really the approach that we've taken.
Right.
Or we met a gentleman at the National Bison Association conference last weekend who, this was his 4th conference about bison, and he doesn't even have land yet. And that was kind of aha for me to say, do your research ahead of time, and hopefully you avoid some of the mistakes we've made.
Well, that, and I was meeting, and I met met someone out there who's a PhD in bison and bison only, and getting to talk to him is realizing, wow, I really don't know everything about bison, and I'm not an expert by any means. And he was, and we even got into what kind of grass do you guys have out there, And I said, well, I'm trying to get coastal going. He's like, dude, you're going to kill your bison. I'm like, what? Like, how is that a thing? He's like, the paraffin, the wax on the coastals, when it gets to a certain length, they can't digest it. You need to go with your native grass. So now we're looking at, okay, so the bison fields, we have to have different grass than you do for your cow fields, because we have cows and bison. So keeping the fields segregated is important, and having different grasses and different protein, the proteins in the grasses and the other plants that you have out there is super important. And also finding out that I asked them about bison health and everything, and why are bison not getting bigger? He said your bison will always get bigger up north in Texas. It's too hot. They're not going to get big. And if you remove someone, I asked, what if I bought one from Canada? He said, well, you'd kill it because it wouldn't be able to survive in Texas because it is so big, and what it would take for the animal to cool itself off, it wouldn't be good. So
one of the more, I guess, moments of realism for me about how we were remote with lack of resources was when we had a white bison female giving birth, and she died during childbirth. The
baby was sticking out with his feet, and we tried to help it, and we didn't know. I mean, right now we have a little bit. We have a better idea what to do, but unfortunately, it sometimes takes loss in order to learn what to do.
Yeah, we lost both the mom and the baby that day, and that was I think, just hard for us, learning for the first time that there's a lot we don't know.
Right. So it's a constant life lesson in the school of hard knocks that we're in. And but learning every day, and try not to make the same mistake twice. Thank you for watching.
Please like, subscribe, share, make a comment, and have a wonderful day.